We have here verse 11 of the 10th chapter of the Gospel of John. Jesus has been giving a tutorial on shepherds and sheep, and of course has likened himself in the first instance to the door. He's the door of the sheep, which of course stands for a very broad idea that Jesus is the access to the blessings that God has offered to humankind, and that in some ways Jesus himself is the one by whom those benefits can be obtained. But now he shifts the analogy a bit, and in verse 11 we see him comparing himself to a different aspect of the shepherding story. Namely, he identifies himself with the shepherd, which is one of the best known and most beloved images that's associated with Jesus, in which he continues, ego, first person pronoun, I, a me, am. We've noted before, of course, the prominent use of that formula in the Gospel of John, and is frequently identified with the Yahweh name in the Septuagint version of the Old Testament, ego eimi, I am, and then ho poimen. The word poimen is the word for shepherd. It's a standard word. It can also be used in the New Testament for pastor, and so it's sometimes used metaphorically in that sense. But here, of course, the simple sense is the shepherd, but Jesus speaks of himself, in a sense figuratively, as a shepherd. I am the shepherd, ho kalos, the good one. The word kalos, of course, is a very broad word, and it really stands for the idea of just a goodness of being. I am the good shepherd. I am good in what I'm doing. I am good in that you can rely upon me to do good things for you. It's a very broad word and really stands for the notion of the shepherd being one who is positively and warmly disposed toward his sheep, which is really unlike, of course, those who are described earlier as thieves and robbers who break in by an alternative door. So I am the good shepherd. And then he continues, ho poimen, the shepherd, ho kalos, the good, repeating really what he just said, tain sukein, the word for soul, suke, we get the word psychology, of course, from that, and other related English words. The good shepherd, the soul autu, genitive, masculine, singular pronoun, so the good shepherd, the soul of him, meaning the life of him, tithesen. Tithesen is from the Greek word tithemi. It means to set or to put, or to put something out there. It's a word used in a broad sense, but of course it's going to suggest here laying down his life. This is the third person singular, present active indicative. So the good shepherd, tithesen, lays down the life of him huper. Huper is a preposition, takes the genitive when it means on behalf of, as it does here. So on behalf of, tone, the genitive article, it's neuter in this case, probaton, the sheep. The good shepherd, because of his positive disposition for those who are under his care, is willing to lay down his life for their well-being. He's willing to lay down his life for his sheep. And that, of course, becomes an important and rather conspicuous aspect of the very destiny of Christ, who offers himself as it were, a shepherd, laying down his life vicariously for their eternal benefit for his sheep.